Hey everybody, I hope you had a great weekend. So there's actually no lesson this week because your first big assignment is coming up. It's due today's Monday, so it's due the following Monday. So you have a week to work on this. So this time the exercise is to create a portrait of a loved one, say yourself or someone else or actually anybody. It could be somebody fictional for all it matters really. But create it in a style in an art of an artist who you admire. So, for example, Monet or Van Gogh. I have a few more examples. I'll send them to you. But anyway, just choose an artist and use the tools that you've learned so far. So I want to see you use the pen tool, the brush, and all the different ways you can use the brush and the pen, different colors, and just everything you've used so far. I would expect this project to take 5 hours. So it should be something nice, something you can use in your portfolio later on. So if you get to a point where it's like, oh, how am I going to incorporate this tool? For example, the shape tool. If you're doing Monet, the shape tool off the top of my head, I can visualize that being difficult because his art is very it wouldn't lend itself well to a repeated shape. Well, all right. Just compensate for it by just making it nice. Because I want this to be a piece in your portfolio, which I hope will later on help you land an artist or a designer job. If you're into architecture, I can't see this. I can't see a spin for architecture, so skip that. But if you're into fashion design, for example, you can put a loved one in a nice outfit that you've designed, or I'm still thinking about architecture. I don't know. Maybe you can put a nice building in the background. Yeah, and then you could say, hey, here's the person which satisfies Professor Sarowski. Here's the building that I can show to a future architecture employer, to see what great stuff you can create. So I do want you to be able to use this. So, and if I see it as being really far off course, I'll ask you about it first before taking points off. Because if you tell me like, oh well, I'm really hoping to get into product design, and so I made the person holding brand X, Acme drill, a drill power drill. I'll probably be confused by that, but if you explain it, that's cool. So it's due Monday at noon. So following Monday, and then I think I've mentioned this before, but with me anyway, sort of the secret to getting a good grade, there are three things. One of them is just follow the directions. Pretty simple. If you go way off track, that's not good. You got to kind of like you got to follow the directions, but add yourself into it. You know what I mean? So don't just go like, okay, here are the directions, but I'm just going to go off in a totally different direction. There's no people in the picture at all. It's just a landscape, for example. Don't do that, because I feel like that would allow you to stick to what you know. I want you to stretch yourself and try something that you don't know all that well. So let's see. So stick to the directions. What else? Show that you've used what you've learned. So use the brush tool. Make sure that you use, all the different like, the brush tips and the options and just everything you've learned. And the third thing is make sure you invest a good amount of time in it. So when I was a student, I didn't know how professors were able to tell how much time you put into it. Now that I'm a professor, which is, I've been teaching for the last 10 years, so this is not to date myself, but it's a while ago. But I've since learned that it's pretty easy, actually. You get to know students' level of abilities because they're turning things in all the time, and then you see the final product, and you know what they can do on a daily or weekly basis, and then you see what they turn in. It's pretty, you can tell. So do put some time into it. 5 hours, I would say, is sufficient, especially because when you think about it, usually I assign you like 2 or 3 hours worth of work plus the lectures probably add up to a couple hours. So it shouldn't be a whole lot more work than your usual workload from this class. But anyway, so those are the parameters. Just follow the directions, which are going to be available on Canvas. And I already told you what they are, but I'll tell you again on Canvas. Put some time into it and use the skills that you've learned. So I look forward to seeing what you all turn in.